set incorrectly for your compositions or your footage sequence. So that one looks okay, so we're just going to duplicate that, Control D, so we've got 2 time codes now. And just on the second one, I'm going to slide the first number over to the left hand side. Probably about there is going to do us. And then I'm going to tick composite on original as opposed to the first one which has it unticked. And now we have 2 time codes in the window. Very easy to see what the actual frame is for this particular pose or this particular pose. So now all we need to do is to render this out. So if I go composition, add to render queue, kicks up my render queue here. Go into your lossless settings, and we're going to set this as a, let's go TGA sequence, and everything looks fine here. If I go OK, just give it an output. Create yourself a folder, and this will be, say, walk cycle ref double. And we'll go 24 FPS. Just select that, Control C to copy, double click so that you're in that folder. And that way these files will be created in that folder. And then just paste that name there and go save. And After Effects adds the sequential number hashes here, and that's all good, and click render. So the next thing we need to do is just bring this into 3D Studio Max. Okay, so here we are in 3D Studio Max, and before we get started setting up the scene for our walk cycle, what I wanted to show you is this is the character that we rigged in the previous issue, and it's our simple robot character here, and basically we rigged this character for an FK system. Now that means that it's forward kinematics, and in order to pose this character, we just select the control objects, the rig control objects, like say for instance the hip here. We could rotate this up, we could rotate the knee down, we could point the toes to the ground, we could even bring the toe up slightly, we could bend the spine, and everything is based on a forward system. So if I wanted to move the foot forward, I would have to rotate at the knee and then slightly move here. If I wanted to move out to the side, I'd have to rotate from the hip. If I wanted to straighten the leg, it would be from the knee and making sure that the hip was pointing in the right direction. So now that's a fairly old school way of doing things. It's been with us for a long time, the FK system, the forward kinematic system. But in 3D, we actually have the ability to use a slightly different system that is a little bit more intuitive when it comes to animating, called inverse kinematics, or IK. And what I've actually done is taken this character, I've quickly done a few IK controllers, and what we're going to do is use those IK controllers to